Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show's Warrior Tea Party.
Woohoo! Manny, I've been waiting to do a tea party on this show forever on this show. Okay? I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handout. Here's my stout. If I forget, get drunk and fall over, pour me out. Or tip me over and pour me out. I don't know how that song goes, honestly. I haven't sung it in 1,000 years, but Manny, to our tea party, to our solution, pinky out.
You're not going to cheers the tea.
Oh, I'm sorry. We do that?
Clink.
Yeah.
Clink.
Absolutely horrible.
Oh, you're going with etiquette.
And yes, there is legit water. There's legit tea. There's a tea bag here, guys. And I put water in this little thing. And
he just drank cold brown water. That's
I just drank a lot of dirt. I hope everybody realized that. For your entertainment, I drank pure dirt. I could have faked this. I could have put nothing in here and just lived it. But no.
No, he drank dirt for you.
Yeah, I drank it 2 minutes before the show. Manny was like, we should do a tea party. And I was like, I don't have teacups. And this is what we learned. This is what we do. It's absolutely disgusting.
Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Of course, if you're watching in Latin America, we are the kings of the ropes. Yes. And over there, right there.
I'm Marcus, the grand finale, and I want to say one thing. We don't do no fucking jobs to commander here. We're not. If Menelik ain't doing it, we ain't doing it either. I want the world to know. I want the world to know. That's why we are the kings. Okay? Because Menelik still works for that company. We would have walked out. We would have quit. We would have never came back to AEW. It's been that way. You told me to do a job to commander. And over.
I just got word from Gigi Dolan. She told that her favorite podcast is the Kings of the Ropes podcast.
Oh, see, look. Yep, there it is. There it is. Move over, Shotzi. Gigi is now the queen of the show.
We didn't do a show on Tuesday. We forgot to mention it on Saturday that there wasn't. To be honest, Marcus told me when the show ended on first Saturday.
Yeah, because I forgot to tell him before the show started to show I wasn't doing the show on Tuesday due to work and charitable obligations, or as they say on the street, Marcus was on assignment.
Well, we'll get to that later in the show. There is some news out there. First of all, Tony Khan's made another announcement. Not the announcement of Ibushi being signed to AEW, which I thought was already a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, he shows up. He only shows up there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who else does he work for?
So he's signed. He's whoever's going to sign whoever he's got is great with the AEW locker room and fans. And they're signing their contract at Full Gear.
Okay.
No one knows who this is, but speculation is running wild amongst the community.
Hogan! I just feel like saying that. It's not Hogan.
Well, given their recent signings, it would point to the biggest free agent being Hulk Hogan.
I doubt it'd be him.
So who do you think it is amongst the speculation already?
Manny, there's a million people it could be, but I'm going to go with, I think the WWE's 90-day no complete clause is over, right?
Yeah.
Around this time. Should be over. So people like the grizzled young veterans are out there, or
he kept it singular.
Quincy, the super diva.
Oh yeah. He's not even being rumored to go to AEW.
Of course not. He's not rumored to go anywhere. He's rumored to get a job at McDonald's at this point. That's the meanest comment of the day. You should have been sipping tea, Manny. You should have been sipping tea. Jesus. Didn't realize that one was going to hit down.
That's so mean.
It is the meanest comment of the day. But
he belongs in Waffle
accurate.
House though.
Oh, he'll be great. He'll be great at Waffle House. Oh, but I have the belief that I know who the person is, and I believe that he's kind of adjacent to ACW, but never actually wrestled there. AEW. I'm going with Dolph Ziggler as the signee of the AEW.
Yeah, someone else, Coleholic's Tom Campbell suggested that it might be.
Why would I even?
Why are you
drinking
drinking?
my real?
Tom Campbell
real water.
No, let me not drink that poverty water, that brown water.
If I want brown water, I just drink from the sink.
Tom Campbell of Coleaholic seems to believe it might be Dolph Ziggler, but I think he stated that his 90 days is over in next month.
Oh,
so but I think you can still sign a contract provided you don't wrestle for like another 60 or 15 days or whatever.
Well, I don't know the legalities of it, but if it,
because like you can still take bookings, can't you?
Huh?
You like when you get released, you can take bookings in the event that you after your 90 days.
So yeah.
So I think you can sign a contract. I think you can sign a contract.
Yeah, and you know what? Dolph Ziggler, longtime WWE employee. If WWE say, "Hey, if you could end this early," I think they would.
Maybe.
Like, why not? It's not like Dolph Ziggler is not going to hurt their bottom line, and I don't know anybody out there that will hurt WWE's bottom line if they sign with AEW right now.
No, the only person I think may give them the itchy fingers is Mercedes Moné. I think if she signs with AEW, I think they'll have those itchy fingers of like, fuck. But outside of that, of the people they recently released and the people that are currently free agents that are not tied down to any contract at the moment, I don't think there's anyone else outside of Mercedes Moné that would really make the WWE go shit.
Yeah, I know there's a few MLW people that requested their release. I believe of the Fatu family, and then I think Alex Hammerstone, also requested. I don't know if he got it. I don't think he got it. But other than that, I don't really see anybody of note. I mean, there's Willie the Goat, who is possible. Will Ospreay out there. But I
actually had no idea who you're talking about when you called him Willie the Goat.
Oh, the old Billy Goat. Will Ospreay.
And then the other bit of news is that got dropped today was WWE are continuing with their international tour across summer, like they did it early this year. So a lot to go along with the Berlin show in Germany. Yeah. They're going to Lyon, France, which I'm not sure the WWE presence in those areas, which makes me think they probably played it safe because there are big football stadiums they could go to again.
Yeah.
But I think they're playing it safe in terms of ticket sales. So who knows?
Yeah. And, and with these international shows, I like to deal with them. I like that WWE is doing more of these shows in general, just like, Australia, France, they did Puerto Rico, which is America, but traveled out. They've been doing big shows in Canada and all that. And I think that's really helped their product as a brand. As in, crowds in America, because you see like the Puerto Rico crowd and you just go like, fuck, I want that to be my crowd. Yeah. Or you see Montreal for Sammy, you're like, oh, I want that to be me. Or even when they went to for Money in the Bank in the UK, or
I like how it's different everywhere they go.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
and I think this opens the door for what was rumored a few months ago with the deal of TKO under Endeavor. I think they're doing this, to branch out and maybe start doing those UFC WWE combo shows and do them worldwide, because I think that would make major money across a weekend.
So I don't know the details of the combo shows. Are they going to be a UFC event one night and then a WWE event the next?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Then maybe you get a WWE combo deal where they either do Friday Night SmackDown or they do the Raw the following day, or on the Monday.
Yeah, they could just have a whole Endeavor week or whatnot.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be a success or not. We'll have to see when they do the first one. But I doubt. I think the first few will probably be in the States where it's easy money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you go to Vegas and it's an easy one.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You do we have a big fight of I don't know who's gonna fight recently, John Jones or some shit. It's fighting, and then it's like, oh, and then you also the next night, since you're already in town, why not go to SmackDown, or not SmackDown, but whatever the WWE pay-per-view of that month will be. Paycheck.
Yeah.
Payback.
I think that's
not paycheck.
Paycheck is what I got yesterday, which is making me feel better about my life today.
Hey, I think a wrestling pay-per-view called Paycheck would be awesome. It'd just be people in there going like, I'm here to do a job. Just here to get my money.
Every match is a ladder match, and you have to fight for your paycheck.
You just fight for your paycheck, and it's like, no, that's Cody's paycheck. That's Cody's paycheck. Cody comes out next night.
We didn't really cover Raw. I didn't watch it, but is there anything that we should be wary about from this week's Monday Night Raw?
The main takeaway from Monday Night Raw would be the Drew McIntyre joining or associating with the Judgment Day. So on the episode, if you want to get Judgment Day news, Manny, they announced that they run Monday Night Raw.
Oh yes, it's not Raw unless they say it.
But it's a little different. Cody comes out, introduces his Survivor Series teams. They try to break it up. Priest, Balor, JD McDonough, and Dominic all come to the ring, and then there's just this big thing about how they shouldn't get along and all that. And then Cody is provoking them to who's the leader without Mommy being around, and then Priest yells, "I'm the leader!" And it gets gas from the crowd, and everybody Judgment Day looks at it and is like, "Oh, how dare you!" And then Mommy makes it right and say, "Priest, you're the leader of the Survivor Series team, of the War Games team, and we'll let that happen because you do need a leader for that." But that's it. They put JD officially in Judgment Day. We get to the main event. Yeah, he's officially in.
Did they do it like Sammy? Roman Gate did it to Sammy. That was a magical moment.
Yeah, but this wasn't that magical. It was in the back.
Ah, fuck you, Priest.
Priest said he'd do it and gave him a jacket that had JD on the back and all that. JD of Judgment Day and all that. And, you know, he was happy. It wasn't a feel-good moment. It was kind of thrown away like, all right, you're official. Main event happens between Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes against, Judgment Day, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles, which is still separated in multiple colors, which I think that's never going to change. At this point, we're just not going to change it.
Can you just bring back the penny belts? Just bring them back. That's all we need.
Yeah,
the black leather with the brown, the copper plate.
Yeah, I believe considered one of the ugliest belts of all time. Although I liked them. I liked them. They grew on me over time, which all belts do. I call a belt ugly for a moment, and all of a sudden it grows on me, and I'm like, I miss that belt. So anyway, Judgment Day is barred from ringside due to shenanigans earlier with Pierce and all that and stuff. So they're all barred. Drew comes out there and immediately starts attacking. God, who does he hate? Jey Uso. He started attacking Jey Uso. That costs them the match with the distraction and all that. And then at the end of the show, a shake hand. Mommy's on the ramp. Drew shakes her hand, stares in the camera menacingly. Michael Cole's, what does this mean? Monday Night Raw ends an epic cliffhanger.
Okay, so that is Monday Night Raw covered by Marcus. Let's move into AEW
that was
Dynamite.
One segment. And by the way, there was 3 other hours of that show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. AEW kicks off with Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta taking on Hook and Orange Cassidy. The match was in my opinion.
He says
Mox no-sold an orange punch and then hits a Death Rider on Hook, and then Yuta does a stupid pin for the win.
What's wrong with the
like a spider.
You gotta set this up. It's gonna take an hour. I've been working on this. The man's unconscious, you to just pin him. You don't even have to hook the leg. Now I'm gonna complicate things. But Manny, I have some long-term storytelling in this match to let you know. All right, in the match, the most notable moment, Orange Cassidy goes for Orange Punch on Jon Moxley, and it just pisses him off, and he doesn't sell it. Manny, what is the Orange Punch for $500? I know you're not betting
It's a Superman punch.
It's a Superman punch. Never
what?
again.
No, wait. What is the Superman punch?
Yes. Ding. There you go. $500 to you. Yes, he lands a Superman punch, and I believe in that very moment he had flashbacks of, I'm never getting punched by Roman Reigns again.
You know what, Marcus? I never actually thought of it that way. I really like that.
The fact that I've been punched by Roman, you think this is gonna take me out, Orange? Fuck you. That's the way I connected that to. Like, Superman punch.
Marcus, I think this segment next, I think might be one of the best segments AEW's done in a long time. Ooh. And it was the face-to-face between Swerve and Adam Page. Because nothing has been said about him being in his house.
No.
And they had 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah, they missed the show on one of them. And...
Yeah. So Tony Schiavone asked a question to Swerve, what the fuck was he doing in his house? Basically. Adam says Swerve went into his house because he is a coward, a phony, a fraud. He is a worthless waste of a human life. He is a grade A dumbass. He is dumber today than he was 2 years ago when his dumbass got fired. Says he doesn't have it in him to become world champion because he can't cut it. He isn't the man he thinks he is. Damn. It's the reason his fiance left him, and it's the reason his kids won't talk to him.
You know what? That's too far.
It made it that the only person you talk about like that is Rey Mysterio. You don't talk about Swerve like that.
You know, I didn't know Swerve lost his wife and kids. I never knew that. Like, I didn't know. This is a dirt sheet story that's known. I didn't know he had a wife and kid. I'll be honest. I know nothing about Swerve's personal life.
Wait. Marcus, are you trying to say Hangman went into business for himself again, much like he went into business with CM Punk?
He may have. He was one word away from saying real glass.
Says, well, Marcus, I think he was one word away from calling him the N-word after saying
absolutely.
Won't talk to him. He says Prince Nana is using him, does his dance, sells his merch, and then uses that money to buy weed from a high school kid in the car park. He said after he beats Swerve's ass, he's going to beat Nana and steal his weed. And Prince Nana lost it.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. Which I thought was, I enjoyed it, made me laugh, but in retrospect, this was a very serious issue that they turned into a big joke when they start talking about stealing Nana's weed.
Calls Swerve a child and says he will teach him his last lesson of his pathetic life. You should have never went into my house. Hangman leaves, but then comes back to lay out Prince Nana because the stipulation was him and Swerve could not touch, but that doesn't mean he can't beat up on Prince Nana.
Yes. Which, I never considered, and I always like when things happen on the show that I never considered something you could do. I didn't realize how vulnerable Nana was at that very moment.
And the funny thing was Swerve couldn't help him because if he did, or pull Hangman off him, because if he did, he'd break the tree.
Yeah, it was really smart, and I was like, damn, nothing we can do about this. The only person that can stand up is Big Eric Watts, Manny. I don't know if you realize Eric Watts is on the outside.
Was that the guy from Tough Enough?
Yes.
The guy that had no cardio, no stamina.
Yes. But you need to put respect on that. He's local. He's California. Celebrity Championship Wrestling / the NWA was here. He's been hit. He's always doing extra work for either WWE or AEW. And I'm always happy when we're in California because you get Eric Watts sightings. He showed up and he was the only one to save Prince Nana at this very moment. Although he took out the business too.
We get another boring segment of Roddy believing the devil is MJF as he tells Adam Cole. Adam Cole seems to think it's Roddy because of all of his accusations. And then the segment kind of just went awry.
So at Full Gear, Manny, if you want to connect the dots here, I'm connecting dots. Adam Cole made his epic return from injury at the Kia Forum, I think about close to a year ago, when he was like, yeah, I'm going to be healthy. And, we all got sad for him, but we didn't want to see Adam get hurt anymore. Could he be making his epic return as the devil at the Kia Forum again?
Well, so Coleaholic suggested that everyone involved is involved. As in, there's no one standing in for anyone under masks or the devil mask. So whoever it is...
Speaking truth, you almost died for it.
I know. Whoever it is actually working for AEW already. They're not a brand new wrestler or whatnot. You're not going to get like, oh my God, it's Scooby-Doo.
Sky Blue's been orchestrating this whole thing.
But
it's Goldberg.
Whoever's got it planned is already working for AEW. Someone thinks one of the guys that got the acclaim last week looked of the build of Wardlow. But it's one of those things you're just going to have to check out. And I'm probably not going to watch it till Monday because I'm going to Wrestle Queendom on Sunday.
Oh, you got a big event.
Yeah, I've got an event. It's 2 shows. I've spent money, which I had to wait till I got paid because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go.
Oh, I love that we're the broken wrestling show.
Oh, no. Pay us, please. Someone donate to the show.
We compare ourselves to Codeaholic or the Observer or, what else is out there? Cornet or whoever. They all got money to go to shows. We over here counting pennies, drinking old tea, begging for change with our teacups. Like, we are so poor. The electricity is coming out. It's raining.
Wait, Marcus, Marcus, I know one show that we're better than.
Oh boy, I already know.
Mike.
But Manny, they were able to save money up to book Tyrus. We don't have that money. We don't have Tyrus money.
We do, Marcus. You really think they paid that much for Tyrus?
No. But I think under the devil mask, all these people have been targeting MJF. If all these people were all to claim to be the devil, that would be also cool, I think. If they all had masses, it'd be like Joe, Roddy, and at the end of the day, it's Adam Cole leading all these people.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a collective under the mask, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. A very Julius Caesar situation in which everybody wants you dead.
We get Sky Blue versus Red Velvet. This match kind of was just there.
They botched the finish is what the main point is, and they brought Red Velvet back just to lose, and I had no question that Red Velvet was going to lose this match. I knew Sky Blue was getting into this TBS title match that I don't want.
The thing I don't like in wrestling is, when someone's been away for a bit or you haven't seen them for a while, you're supposed to give them a decent run of matches to go, oh, this. So when they lose, it means something. Red Velvet had won 2 matches and then loses to Sky Blue.
And we're never going to see her again.
And we're probably not going to see her again. She could probably going to be on Ring of Honor from now on. And that's it. Yeah. Like, nothing.
Don't do this to me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you, man. Don't do this to me. Don't do this. Like, I mean, don't bring them back. If you bring them back and they lose the first day, I'm okay with it. But if you bring them back and it seems like you're giving them a little momentum, and then you're like, snatch that away. It takes it away. It's kind of like WWE and DIY. Same shit.
Yeah, no, don't. I hate it when it happens in any promotion. It's just like, what's the point taking me as a human on a ride for no reason? It's like when people start the car and then stop after like maybe a foot. To fuck with you.
It's like going to 1 date. Okay, that was a good date. 2 dates. You know what? That was all right. That was really good. The 3rd date, you're probably expecting to get laid. I don't think we should see each other anymore. Fucking what? What? I made it to the... You never get Cheesecake Factory again. You hear me? Mark my word.
Oh, no, don't start the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing that went viral?
Yeah, I know that was the point.
Jesus.
Can't do anything anymore for Dave.
First of all, she ain't even that nice, but she was too nice for him. I'm just saying. So the fact that he bagged her in the first place to go on a date with him, I was like, wow, this guy must have money.
No, not money. He tricked her and made her think he had money because he took it to Cheesecake Factory, and it was like, I've been bamboozled.
He took her to Cheesecake Factory because his original place, they couldn't take the booking anymore because she was late.
Oh, what? I didn't get all the story.
Yeah. I investigated this. I was interested.
Man, he did a deep dive. Old Sleuth Manny going to the interview with people and witnesses. Hey, do they have Cheesecake Factory in London? UK? No, right? That's only
no, but I've had it with my family in New York. I didn't mind it. I thought this is a good place to eat.
It's not a look. The thing about Cheesecake Factory is this: it is not a bad place to eat. It's just not a really good place. The menu's overstocked. It's like going to like a TGI Fridays or a Chili's, but they think they're bigger.
Yeah, thing is though, if it's a first date, I'm not taking you anywhere fancy if I'm paying for it. Because I don't know where this is going, and I don't want to. And I don't also want to be put in one of those women's phone books as food number 7, where I'm the 7th guy in her thing that will buy her food. But I've seen it happen before, and I don't want to be those people.
You want to go over and eat? Absolutely. Ah, this is just free food. We're going we're going to drive-through Diddy's, bitch.
Yeah,
I'm not shit.
Don't get played, people. Don't get played. Male or female, don't get played. Yeah. Or everyone in between. Mariah May.
Sympathy for the Sims.
Yeah. Mariah May meets Tony Storm. I did not enjoy this segment at all. I think the Tony Storm stuff has been overplayed now.
Well, I enjoyed the aesthetics of it, that they really went far back to the retro audio sound of that them sound like they're on a megaphone and the lips aren't syncing up. I enjoyed all that. I ate it up. I ate this up, Manny. I'm still not done yet.
I'll see if it takes a new dimension when she becomes champion again. That would be interesting.
Yes, Sheeta, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered.
I feel bad for Sheeta. Samoa Joe beat some guy. It was a pointless match. He extends his offer of friendship again to MJF. He says time is running out.
Manny,
he is Samoa Joe, and he is inevitable. Yes, Marcus.
Manny, I have one question for you, and I normally ask this on big moves and big moments, but one, I do not know this man's name. I do not. But I believe he is worthy of one thing and one thing only.
No, Marcus, you can't give it to him. No, you can't give it to him.
How about that dive?
You can't give that to him. That wasn't a dive. That wasn't a dive.
It was a dive.
That wasn't a dive.
He jumped on the rope and then he dived and got to look at Samoa Joe as Samoa Joe walks away. And
that wasn't a dive. It's a dive if you connect. It was a fall from grace.
I just thought the way he looked at Joe was like, "What? You kidding me?" No.
So we didn't cover this on Saturday, but it was announced on Collision, so why would we? And we didn't do a show on Tuesday. AEW is doing a AEW Continental Classic.
Shit.
Huh?
Yeah. I was like, ain't nobody watching Collision, so why should we?
Yeah.
Don't make us.
AEW is doing a Continental Classic, which was announced by Tony Khan and Bryan Danielson. It's their version of the G1 Climax. Danielson's going to be the first one entered. I think the end of it is the pay-per-view in December.
Yeah. The world's end. Yeah. Know how I feel about this?
I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know what the Terror is for. Like, at least the G1, it's the main event Wrestle Kingdom, and for the title, that. But for this one, and it's called the Continental. I'm like, are we going after Orange Cassidy's belt right now? Is that what we're going after? What's the point of winning this
Yeah, it makes no
Like,
sense.
I don't know who the participants are. Like, I feel like the participants are going to end up just being like, Daddy Magic and Danny Garcia or some shit.
No, I think you'll get a load of guys that they pulled in from all over the place, like they normally
Yeah.
do.
It should be. I don't think it's gonna be top guys. It's not gonna be like the G1 where they're technically top guys.
I
mean,
think
it's the
they'll have
same.
a few.
What? Maybe a Mox. Maybe
No,
a
you won't
Jay
have
White.
Mox if Danielson's in there. If Danielson's in there, you ain't having Mox.
Yeah, maybe Jay White. He's someone that fit. He ain't winning the title, so spoiler alert. Sorry about that, guys. But he may enter that.
Maybe Wardlow, Sammy Guevara.
If he's alive, you know.
Oh, he wasn't cleared. That's why Brian Cage stepped in for the match.
Yeah.
Maybe you get Hobbs in there. I don't know.
Maybe a Roddy. I gotta see the names before I can make any judgment. I'm sure we're gonna get some really good matches out of it. But I don't know what's the point of it. That's where I'm at with it.
But like a lot of things are gonna get bumped because of it. Because you're gonna have to give a lot of time on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision for this. So a lot of things that are currently ongoing is probably going to get bumped for this. So it'd be interesting to see what their plans are for this. So yeah.
Yeah, it's to be determined. You know.
Penta Commander versus the Young Bucks. Young Bucks were a pretty decent match. They hit the BTE trigger after some low blows. In the back, they say they don't care about the rules, about what to say, what not to say and do. Kenny says, really, in front of your family and friends, that's what you want to do. Mac Jackson says, that's the best version of us.
You know, that's the saddest side. That's the best version. What do you want? What do you want? When did you get your best success? When you were cheating? Come on. Look at us. We're trash. I will also add, I'm giving them a strike for the segment because if I watch the Young Bucks fight any version of a the Lucha Bros / basically Penta any more times, I'm going to be sick. I feel like this has happened 1,002,000 times in the 4 years we've been with AEW, Eddie. This match has happened at least 1,200 times.
We get the Guns versus Nobodies. They win. They also killed the crowd when they got on the microphone. I've never heard
already.
I've never heard anything die quicker than that.
I'm sure there's other things, but you might have a point. They clearly didn't care. But it was a lot of the crowd. The crowd's pretty much dead for most of the night. Ontario didn't show up. Maybe they're saving all the Southern California energy for the the forum shows. The collision going against SmackDown.
Wardlow cuts another promo against MJF.
Man, stuck in time. I would love to educate that man what's been going on with his life in the past 2 years. And none of it is MJF's fault. Just say.
We get the Kenny Omega, Jericho, Paul White, and Ibushi match versus the Don Callis family with Brian Cage. Match was all over the place. I did not like it. I like some of the spots, but parts of this was recorded weeks ago.
I would say a year ago on Dark Elevation, where Big Show had all his Big Show segments was recorded. Like I actually will classify this as a cinematic match at this point, as much as Big Show was in the back with random people. I want to say that I didn't understand a lot of stuff in this match. A lot of stuff didn't make sense to me. Just one, why even have the Big Show in the match if he's only going to be there for X amount of time? We could have easily, if Sammy Guevara was questioned about being ready for this match, we could have pulled him and Sammy and just had the same match. We would have been okay. Yeah. The main thing I question, Ibushi looks extra washed. And I think this is the end of his career happened on this show. The day he signed with AEW, I thought that was the end of Ibushi. When I saw him on that bicycle swinging the quote-unquote lead pipe and tapping him. Tap, tap,
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out though afterwards.
Yeah, to only get knocked the fuck out by Brian Cage, and that was the end of Ibushi.
It was also followed by a tombstone through a table.
No, not through a table, man, through chairs that were makeshift table with ramen noodle cutouts. Which I don't know if that's borderline racist. I'm not the person to judge.
I think it's part of the game for
Yeah.
some reason. Hobbs gets duct tape.
Here's what I didn't understand about that, Manny. So Fletcher does that spot. Why is Ibushi the first one up? Ibushi got up and started handing Omega in them chairs. The hit Hobbs and stuff.
Hobbs was duct taped to the ropes and then taken down with
Never
weapons. Kenny pins Brian
Two
Cage
white
up
men
and
jumping
hitting
a
a
black
one-winged
man and
angel.
tying him up. Hurts my heart every time I see it.
This segment made me so sick I turned my TV off. I'm agreeing with you. This was bad.
Yeah. I have a question. When did Takeshita lose his eye? He had an eye match on this week, and I was like, I don't know when. And I know he had a match with Jericho at DDT, so maybe there was something over there.
Maybe, but again,
they showed us nothing or told us nothing.
They didn't talk about it. They didn't mention anything about it.
Yeah. And I just felt like this match, like you said, was all over the place. A lot of stuff didn't make sense to me. And Hobbs looked like a monster, but it wasn't really. I don't think it amounts to anything. And I don't understand why this is the TV match and not the pay-per-view match.
Do you know, I feel like this whole program is going to be a massive failure if Hobbs doesn't come out better than what he was.
Yeah, and they put him on another losing faction. That's my main takeaway with Hobbs. Oh, you lost again. You were with Team Taz, you lost. You're with QT and them, lost. I think there was another one in between there, lost.
Yeah.
And now he's with this, and it's like, oh, this nothing really coming out of this. I know Cage took the pin, but Hobbs is the one losing. Like, I don't understand why the Callis family was put together to do this TV match. And Full Gear's happening, and we're forced to get Young Bucks, Kenny, and
so this is
and
the problem
Golden Jets for whatever reason. Like we're building this. This is the big match.
So to jump on that, we'll talk about MJF in a minute. But like, there's a lot of we're doing this, but then there's this at the same time. So like, you've got Kenny and Jericho doing this thing with the Don Callis family, and now they've got a side quest against the Bucks now. And then you've got, like, if you look at the title picture for MJF, you've got like 3 people coming after him. He doesn't even have the belt. Jay White has the belt. So that's his main target. And then on the side, he's got to worry about Wardlow and Samoa Joe. There's too much going on. And Roddy. There's too much going on that's clouding all the main story pictures, which like, as a viewer, it's like, as a viewer, you have to ask yourself, why should I be invested in this match, like the Kenny Omega match, when he's got a match against the Young Bucks at the pay-per-view on Saturday? Why should I care?
I believe it was Matt Jackson that clapped back at a fan or something, quote unquote clap back, when they said, I don't understand why this is the match or something at Full Gear or something like that. He told him. And then Matt Jackson said, well, would you rather for us not to be on the card? And my answer is yes.
Yeah, there's no point making
it's hurt the product. It's hurt the story.
Don't force yourself onto a card if there's no reason for you to be.
Yeah, there was no reason. Like, you guys turning heel and going against Kenny for no reason. It makes no sense. Like,
which is why I like the way WWE do their pay-per-views at the moment. They don't overdo it with matches. They don't overdo it. There are some matches where you go, that probably could have been on Raw, and this one could have been. Do you know, like when they leave out a Gunther match, like they did with the IC title? But I think when you look at it, it's like, I need a reason to watch Raw sometimes. And like, if they've held off a match to be on Raw that's your TV main event, which is always probably going to be better than what you're probably going to get on the pay-per-view anyway, it makes sense. But like, certain things on AEW when they go into a pay-per-view is like, you're just doing this to make sure everyone gets a payday on this card.
Yeah.
When you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I know Crown Jewel's the example. I'm gonna use this one. You don't make the card. Sammy and JD did a pre-show match. Sami Zayn is one of the biggest baby faces on the WWE roster right now, and they didn't force really anything to like. He could have not been on the show, but they put it in the pre-show against JD. It's kind of storyline. It doesn't really matter. It's one of those situations where it's on the pre-show, and you had Kevin Owens who wasn't on the show at all. So, it's fine. It's okay. You don't have to be on every show. Like, every UFC show does not feature every top star.
Yeah.
Just say.
So MJF apologizes to the Acclaim for getting them caught in the crossfires of MJF's life. He's sorry they got hurt and he hopes they feel better. He's afraid he could lose everything he worked for. He's afraid that he's going to let people down. He may be afraid, but he isn't going to quit or back down. Jay White comes out and says some things, which is all alluding to a trap as the Bang Bang Club jump MJF.
Ignoring Jay White's go home promo.
It wasn't good.
It was okay. I'm gonna agree with you. I don't remember what he actually said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the record. I don't remember other than get him. Very supervillain style. Although I feel like his guys were really late because he was like, get him. MJF had time to turn around and be like, oh, I have time to get away. The one thing I would change for this segment would have been that at the end, since he did steal the belt all these weeks ago, and maybe I missed it, maybe he did do it, I don't know. If he would have threw the belt back to him tonight, it was like, I'm going to take it for real this Saturday at Full Gear instead of just holding up the title. I think that's all he did was the dead of me, and I'm holding up the title, which is the guarantee you're not winning.
They missed a trick. This should be a ladder match.
Nah, I wouldn't even give him that. He should have got his belt back about a month and a half ago at least.
But like, if at this point I'm like, well, it should be a ladder match at this point for me, where it's just like he's kept the belt for so long. At this point, it's his. It's not your go anymore, MJF. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, and he's had it for 9 10 of the law. In fact, if we were to do the numbers, Manny, you're the number analyst. I don't want you to do this. I'm not going to actually do this, but you can fake it. I believe doing MJF's title run of 300 and whatever days it's been, or maybe 400. I don't know where he's at actually. Jay White has had it for 200 days. I don't know.
That's not right. It's about
I know it's
30, right. 30 at most.
Maybe 30 or 50. 50 or 60.
30 at most, maybe.
It's been close to 2 months. About 30 days of that. Which in the Jack Tunney loss means you're no longer champion.
To be fair, Jay White did defend it against
Mark Briscoe. I mean, if you do get a title defense, you are the champion. I just think that he's basically the interim champion right now.
Yeah. What did you think overall about Dynamite?
They got some stories across, but I do think there are problems with stuff in general. I think it's 2 weeks without Christian on Dynamite is a lot for me not to enjoy. Like he's like I want to see what he's gonna say next. And yeah, he shows up on Collision, and I don't really watch that.
There is no Collision this week either because of the pay-per-view, so they're gonna have to tie stuff up on Rampage, and I ain't gonna watch Rampage.
No. Collision is Rampage this week.
Oh,
Collision's Friday night. Collision's going against SmackDown. I don't know if it's a 3-hour show or a 2-hour show, but they're doing Collision as Rampage, and I'm like, they should have did. No one's gonna. The majority of people are not watching that show.
No, of course
and I think. And if I'm correct, and I know I am on this one, this is Edge's first pay-per-view with AEW. By the way, his first big match. I know he had his debut match against Luchasaurus. Fuck that. He looked old. But this is your first pay-per-view match since you debuted at the last pay-per-view. I feel like it should be a bigger deal other than not mentioned on Dynamite this week.
It wasn't mentioned at all on Dynamite this week.
Wasn't that at all? They didn't, I feel like this guy even do the rundown of the show. I don't even remember that. But yeah, Sting and Darby and Edge and Christian and all that wasn't on the show, and I feel like they should have been on the show.
If I'm being totally honest, while I was watching this show, how long ago was it? maybe an hour and a half ago. I had a nosebleed during the show, and it didn't want to stop. And even through severe dizziness of trying to watch this show and feeling sleepy due to blood loss,
Yes.
I still think this was a terrible show.
I thought it was a decent show that could have been better. I think it was saved a little bit by like as much shit as I give the Young Bucks and Penta and Commander in the fight. It was very entertaining and a lot of really spots. It's very spot heavy on which matches should have ended on certain spots where I'm like, well, these guys are invincible. But I was entertained by a lot of it. And the main event sucked. The main event was trash, but it kept me watching, man. It kept me entertained on how bad it was gonna get.
Do you know what the worst part was? I watched this dizzy, and it made me feel worse.
Yeah. Can I also ask something, Manny? When you were talking about your nosebleed and how you felt dizzy and all that, doesn't that sound like we're about to go into like one of those YouTube paid ads? So I used Dynamite. I used Dynamite, and all of a sudden I was ready to watch NXT.
It does, but this is the poorest YouTube show currently currently that have over 10,000 subscribers.
And they have ads. We have, please guys, donate to the show. Otherwise I won't be able to eat this week.
And I expect coins being thrown like,
yeah. Please throw coins at us. If you see me on the street, please give me $1.
Yeah, donate to the show. We poor.
But don't ever try to give me food like Arby's. If I'm homeless and you try to give me Arby's, I'm throwing it back.
NXT opened up with Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo taking on Chase U. The storyline of this match was all based on the Chase U investigation, much like the Michigan investigation going on. Andre Chase is distracted by the Chase U students walking out and eventually loses to the Bada Bing, Bada Boom. And we got new tag team champions.
For the record, Manny, I have not been this entertained in a match in a long time. Not because of the wrestling, but because of the dejection of JCU. Them reading newspapers. Who reads a newspaper in 2023? Dude had a newspaper out there. People were walking out.
Not even a
they were
either.
disinterested. They weren't chained to you.
If I saw someone like who's really old in wrestling right now, Ric Flair out there, I expect him in a Chase U shirt. I expect him to be reading a newspaper. I expect the rest of them to be reading this on some type of app on their phone.
Yeah. People had newspaper and magazines for dramatic effect. And I don't know, like, I can't tell you what I was laughing so hard about the scandal of what did he do? What did he do? And Manny, can we bundle all this into one? Because he entered the arena, JC's all covered up. They look like they really done some illegal shit. Like, what is the scandal?
Yeah, but they don't even know. Well, JC knows, but the rest of them don't know. And then as they're leaving, he's getting harassed, like TMZ were coming at him.
Yeah.
Everyone coming at him with
phones and microphones and recorders.
And then JC Jane comes in like a getaway driver.
Let's go.
Like, get in!
I have never seen a title dumping that I forgot the title was even involved.
No, I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah. I was so invested into the Chase U scandal. What could he have done that the students have gotten whim of?
Then we move into the Supernova sessions. Marcus, this is just a Saturday show. What happened on the Supernova sessions? It's just a lot of shouting at each other, leading to Noam Dar's next opponent being Chad Gable.
My favorite moment of this, of them trying to give him an opponent and him going, no, cut the music, play the music before he says it. Play the music. If you play the music, it's over. Which is hilarious. He can't catch out of me when they play my music. And it's Chad Gable. No! God damn it. Nothing like Otis shooting the shot at Last Legends in front of Maxine Dupree. He was thrusting, talking about, baby, you can tell me anything. And I'm like, what is going on?
And Lash reacted the exact way we all expected her to. Ooh.
Yes. Ooh. But I thought he was with Maxine. But apparently he was ready to chain it all. He shot his shot. Otis don't miss. He normally gets his girl, Manny. He normally gets his girl.
Roxanne takes on Lash Legend because Lita said so. The metaphor was thrown out of ringside for interfering. But Jakara comes back to distract the referee. And then a darker than normal Kiana James comes out to assist Lash Legend.
Yes. Darkness, everybody. She came out super extra dead. Like that was literally some barbecue chicken that went out to save.
You said she got marinated.
She got smoked. She was smoking for hours.
Hi, Mackenzie North.
Shout out to Mackenzie North. But yeah, so that interference was black people sticking together right there. By the way, if I'm Roxanne Perez, how dare you give me such a mixed match leader? This woman is 3 sizes bigger than me. This was the hardest challenge of my life.
This was her almost.
Yeah, it was legit an almost situation when you look at him.
So Lash Legend hits the powerbomb for the win. Then we go to the Warrior Tea ceremony, which I think Lyra Valkyria is mad disrespectful during this entire segment.
Mad disrespectful. First of all, when she's told about the tea party, she goes, "What?" She goes in there. She's underdressed for the scenario. Xylee has to give her some robes.
Yeah, she was like, "Don't dress like a trash bag. Here's a robe to cover you, you indecent piece of shit."
Yeah, I brought you to this tea ceremony. You're supposed to come correct. All right, I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. By the way, the one thing I wanted for this tea party, maybe because I just finally watched the Barbie movie, Manny, I wanted them to not actually use real tea. I wanted them to pour nothing into the glass.
And hold the glass like this when they're barely holding it.
Yeah. I want like it being like a little kid's tea party. I don't know why. Here you go. This isn't real food and stuff like that. Herbs in there.
So Xylee's plan is to destroy Lyra Valkyria.
That's all this led to. Because of the disrespect. When Lyra said, "I'm not drinking the tea." Well, what that means is we are fighting to the death. You chose death. Oh, loved it. Loved all of this, man. You're so stupid. And I need this for every Xylee match that she has to bring up the tea party. And I'm not drinking that tea either because she probably would have poisoned me.
I'll take the chance, Marcus. I'll take the chance.
You're going to take the chance of poison.
Because, Marcus, I've learned one thing. You don't disrespect Asian proverb.
Yeah.
And
she went, I bet you she went in there with her shoes on in her room. Just disrespect.
Muddying up all that thing, like just
y'all disrespectful. I can try to do this tea thing right. I'm trying to do it right. Never did on TV before in my life. Trying to do it right. And this bitch come in here all mud on her shoes and dressed like a trash bag and shit. Walking like a pigeon.
Oh. I mean, it was a great tea party.
It was. But again, the only way to make this better, no real tea. Just
Marcus, I need to say this because I don't think that's warrior paint on Xylee. It looked like she's just been cleaning chimneys.
It looked like someone told her, "Hey, you can't do blackface." I can't do what? Oh shit, I gotta watch this off. It won't come off. It won't come off.
Or Xylee, we need you in to play quarterback. Okay.
But I will say this. Maybe she's linking up with Boa and Dante Chin because Dante Chin had the same
don't
on the side of his face.
What are on TV this week?
I don't think so. Unless I missed them in the background somewhere.
There wasn't that many backstage segments this week.
No, it wasn't. I think there was like a Trick Mello one, but that was an interview. So
well, that's the next segment. No. Mackenzie gets right to the point. You punched Mello in the face last week. Trick says, "Don't be instigating." He says him and Mello spoke. They know the punch wasn't intentional and accidents happen. Trick says Lexus is going to get his. Mello says he's got his back in the match he's got against Joe Coffey later in the night. Bron Breakker, he has no regrets what he did to Von Wagner. Dijak interrupts Breakker, says he has some nerve interrupting him. Their paths haven't crossed before. He tells Dijak he doesn't want him in the Iron Survivor match. Dijak says he does because he is just one man he can't break. Bron says if he does qualify, he should stay out of his way. If he doesn't, he will have him begging for retribution. Retribution, pal.
Retribution. Get back at me with that. How dare you clap back at me with that? The retribution line. Oh no, I don't know if it's me, but when Dijak walks onto my screen, I immediately laughs. I don't know why.
Okay.
It should happen. It should happen.
Marcus, what's more dangerous? Bron Breakker's spear or Dijak with a belt?
Oh, Dijak with a belt. I don't want anything to do with that. You saw what he did to that tree, Betty.
Yeah, for like 6 hours.
Yeah, Eddie Thorpe ain't been the same since he had to take.
He
time
made Eddie
off.
Thorpe take a break.
Yeah,
He made Eddie Thorpe take a break and recharge.
He came up and he said that I need to rethink my life. And then I got my ass whipped by a grown ass man.
Where were we? Trick Reigns versus Joe Coffey. Trick wins despite Mello nearly costing him the match.
Do you buy Mello costing him the match? That's the thing.
He had that look on his face like, I did. I meant to do that.
I just don't feel like that. If I'm going to cost you a match, that wouldn't be the move. That wouldn't be the move. I would get myself disqualified or get you disqualified by kicking. So, Joe Coffey.
Nah, I'll tell you how I'm doing it. Habibi kick. And you know what? You'll know I've meant it because I would have to telegraph that to wait for you to be put in the corner.
Yeah, because you gotta lift up all your robes first. Not as many Habibi kicks on these two shows as I wanted.
You know what? The Young Bucks didn't even do it. I was a little bit upset.
Yeah, I was upset with him. If I'm Dave Meltzer, I'm taking away a star out of their match. No Habibi kick, brother. I'm sorry.
The Brawling Brutes beat OTM.
Yep. By the way, I would say this about OTM. I will fire Reggie. I will fire that giant Jeff Hardy. I may keep the guy with the cornrows.
I can't even tell them apart yet.
I don't know which is
that's
which.
how much I don't care about them.
I think the guy who dresses like Jeff Hardy is Bronco. And then the other one's the other one, which I don't even know his name. Nima. I thought it was Nima Bronco. I thought that's not one name? Damn.
I don't know.
Back to the mud.
Joe Gacy talks more nonsense this week, but this time he's on a roof.
Did he jump?
No, he threw the camera. That's what. What do you think?
He jumped. That's my main story from the show. Did Joe Gacy kill himself?
No, because the commentary was get Joe Gacy off the roof.
I thought he did say get Joe Gacy off the roof, and I mean, I think Joe Gacy threw himself off the roof. I thought he jumped. He was like,
no,
I never even
thought that.
And then all of a sudden it turned around and it looked like he jumped. Yes, effects-wise, I thought he just threw the camera, Manny, but I thought what we were supposed to believe was he jumped with the camera.
So Gigi Dolan takes on Ariana Grace. Gigi wins. No idea what was the point of this match.
No, none whatsoever. Although I feel like this is a weekly thing on NXT. Bunch of women in the locker room gather around and have a big discussion about something. Forces match for later. Gigi, I don't know why you were there around these jobbers and newbies. I feel like at this point you've been there long enough. You should have a different locker room. You should not be in the middle of this.
Then we get the main event, which is Wesley versus Baron Corbin. Corbin is saved from a dive from Wesley by Dirty Dom. After disposing of Dirty Dom, Wes gets back in the ring and gets hit with the end of days. After the match, Corbin tries to get some more awares when Dragunov makes the save. Dragunov gets hit with the end of days. But then Dragunov decides, I'm going to give you what you want, a title match at Deadline.
Yeah. Which, I guess fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what my expectations for that match is. It's probably gonna be the best Baron Corbin match ever because Dragunov does stuff like that. I thought the main event was a solid main event. I thought there was some innovative spots. Love the end of days. I love the deep six dive to the outside and then the end of days and stuff like that worked.
Yeah, but do you know what? Baron Corbin doesn't get nearly the amount of respect he does for being the worst bad man in the game.
Nope. He's just out there being a big man who does stuff, and he is the most unlikable person in wrestling. Yeah. One of the most. Like he's an easy heel. An easy heel where you're just not like, I have no reason to cheer you. Ever. Unless you're in France and you need to get that one win.
Oh, he's gonna be so over. That's why they're going to France.
That would be amazing if that's Baron Corbin's like title shot. The crowd's just going crazy. Why? I don't know.
I don't know. I liked this episode of NXT, even though it seemed like at points it didn't have any direction.
I'm gonna say this for the record, and this may not be fair. NXT is my show of the week, all because of the Shea Shoe stuff. They had me at the first 15 minutes of the show.
No, Marcus, the Warrior Tea Party.
The Warrior Tea Party too is classic.
Because they called it a ceremony, but we're disrespecting it even more by calling it the Tea Party.
They call it a ceremony?
Yeah.
God damn it. I know they did. It's just I totally forgot we have been calling it the Tea Party. No disrespect, Shia Lee. Please don't kick me in the head. And I did not choose death today.
So yeah, I liked NXT this week. I think I'm not even gonna bother watching Raw at all. There's no point.
Nah. You got the best part of the Drew turn, and which is well done. And then there's nothing else really to see. The Miz and Ivar, the Miz doing Miz things this year, or is it Ivar being the star?
Oh, I do have a thing for you.
Oh, you did miss one thing real quick. Vinci is now favored under Gunther.
What?
So he got thrown out of a match and interfered again and came back and won the match for Kaiser.
Resilience.
And then Gunther said, you really did a great job out there. And then start saying stuff in I'm assuming Italian, maybe German. I don't know what language. Ludwig was looking like, fuck you. Just angry in the background. Like, how could you favor him now?
So speaking of Gunther, on the bump, he buried, allegedly, one of your favorite wrestlers of your youth, the Ultimate Warrior.
I read the comments. I didn't see it. And he's talking about how he was a good showman and all that. He wasn't a good wrestler.
He wasn't a wrestler. He was just a showman.
And you know what, Manny? You damn right he was.
Marcus.
That's what I want for wrestlers. I don't need the wrestling. I need the show. Give me the show.
You know what the thing is, though? Gunther buried the Ultimate Warrior for the third time.
What was the other times?
So, the original burial with WWE did with the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. His actual funeral. And then Gunther had to do it the third time.
Jesus, yeah. The self-destruction DVD, that was harsh. But I thought it was the most accurate story of the Warrior.
That is the end of the show, but I was told by Eric to make sure I ask you about your volunteer work.
Oh. Mackenzie North, I'm going to say, yes, it is. Oh. So the reason we weren't on Tuesday was because I was out, doing some volunteer work for the Midnight Mission here in Los Angeles. It was a charity event and stuff. Eventful.
So it wasn't community service.
No. I'm free of all charges and all that. No more. So we're out feeding lunch for the homeless, packing lunches. They were doing their big Thanksgiving giveaway too, like packaging stuff up and boxes for the holiday season. It's all good cause. Good cause. Numerous things has happened on there. There was a dog fight between a homeless husky, which Eric said, "How's a husky homeless?" And I go, "I don't know." It was. And the canine, they got into it. The canine was barking at the husky. The husky was looking like, want this smoke. And it's all happening to me, who was afraid of dogs. There was a homeless guy who looks like he dressed like James Brown. He had no shirt on and a cross and a vest, and looked like he was gonna say "get on down," but he was complaining about them having spaghetti today. And I was like, "You're homeless. They give me free food. Why are you complaining?" He complained about the ginger ale that wasn't top-notch ginger ale. It was Canadian Dry, which I think is the standard ginger ale in the world. It's like the Coca-Cola of ginger ale. I don't know what else is better than that.
Oh, there's a Jamaican one. The Jamaican one always tastes nice, though.
Is it Jamaican ginger ale?
There's a Jamaican ginger ale.
No. But we don't have
think
that.
That may be the top tier one he's referring to.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Canadian Dry. Until I tried a Jamaican one. I didn't know there was a Jamaican one. And those lines of people and everybody was eating. And the dish of the day, as I brought up to the guy, he did not like spaghetti. So spaghetti. Lots of spaghetti was going out, Manny. But I want to tell you the main thing about the spaghetti. I ended up doing trash duty, which is, great.
It sounds like this kind of sounds more like community service the more you speak.
And one of the volunteers with me who was scooping the spaghetti was like, "Yeah, I was being generous. I was hooking people up with all the spaghetti." Man, at the trash can, every time somebody would bring their tray over, loads of spaghetti. And I was going, how bad is this spaghetti that the homeless people who are starving, don't want none of this? It has to be the worst. It had to be the worst.
Wait, how much? What was the meat to spaghetti ratio?
I think it was a good balance of ground beef, meatballs or whatever, and spaghetti. I think it was a decent amount. But I think that it was just universally hated. Maybe it was. I didn't try it personally. I'm tempted to be like, how could it be this bad? Where people are only eating like the croissants and sweets and stuff to go with it. Like, I'm not fucking with this. But it was just pounds and pounds of spaghetti just thrown in the trash. And I was in the kitchen working the back. Normally, when we do these events, we don't really do much. We're like just helping. Today they put our ass.
Were you doing this for your job, or were you doing this just to do it?
For the job. But it was for to do it. It was volunteer. You can volunteer to do it for the job.
Yeah.
So I signed up. And
I mean, it's better than doing what you normally do, I guess.
Yeah, just nothing.
I remember when we did stuff like that for when I worked in the store.
Yeah,
we supported a women's charity, at-risk women charity, where they live in a hostel. So basically, instead of throwing away all the food that we were going to dispose of for the day, that didn't get sold or didn't look too nice, too presentable to be sold, so we were even just gonna throw it away. It would get they would come in the store and collect whatever we had. And I remember this was at the peak of me having a broken ankle, and they still wanted me involved in the painting and redecorating of the building, the hostel.
Yeah.
And they expected me to edit and take photos of everyone painting and everything. I was so bored. Well, I can't do anything. Why am I here?
Yeah, I can greet people at the door. Look at me. I'm not ready. I can't do anything. Start painting, man. You can paint the bottom of the wall or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't actually know what Marcus was doing, but that's really commendable as why we didn't have a show on Tuesday.
Yeah, but it was a lot, just a lot of random drama. There were fights, people stealing stuff.
Why not?
Plates. There was a lady. There was a lady who was worried about security tackling her down if she left with the tray, which they told her you can take the trays, you can take them wherever you want to go. But she was like, if security takes me down, I'm gonna come back for you. And we're like, and the guy's like, go ahead, try it. I don't care. I don't care. It was people fighting over cans. There was some random stuff, and you know, it is a good experience to help all that, but vividly, it's just like, dang, these people. There's some wild.
You know why there was fights, Marcus? One, you didn't have the top tier ginger ale, and two, whatever you guys put in that spaghetti clearly wasn't good enough.
Nope. I would tell you on all the food prep. So in the food prepping department, my job, I did a lot of heavy lifting, like load the fridge with sodas and stuff like that. But what the original job I did before that, I had to cut like pastries in half because they wanted to like make sure everybody got some. So you get half a pastry. So I had knife duty, and as record show on this show, Eric has also criticized my knifemanship, my cuts.
What?
Yeah, he criticized my cuts on like because I made him like a meatloaf. It's like large chunks of like onions. He's like, these are too chunky. You can cut more. You can cut more. So as I'm cutting these pastries, and it's supposed to be in half, I would judge each one, and I would say the sibling judge. I would look at me and be like, "This got to be a sibling cut, otherwise there might be fights over this." But then I start looking at it as it's like, this is so much. You can see the mediocrity of the half and half. I was like, I'm a piece of shit.
How are you so bad at this?
They weren't even. They're not even. Like, imagine, baking something and trying to cut something in half, and the way they cooked it is like you're trying to cut right down the middle, but the way it was like baked, it wasn't. And so I didn't want to make it look like it was chewed or anything. So I'm like doing these like nice, precise cuts. So I would go set it up, cut. And then I go, ooh, that was short. They're not getting any billing on that one. All right. Ooh. That could have been better. Put it in. And at the end of the day, I just went, there's going to be half of people really upset about this. Who cut this shit? Who cut this half? It was horrible.
Oh, this sounds like a fun day.
It was a fun day. It was eventful, a lot of work. I didn't expect to be so tired because I got off work, did it. Like there's no in between. It was getting off work, then going to do this volunteer event, and then driving home through about an hour and a half of traffic because traffic is a mess due to the 10 freeway being down, due to fire and arson apparently. So just LA problems. And so I get home, it's time for NXT, and I fell asleep for that first hour and just knocked out because it was the first opportunity I had to sleep.
I mean, do you know what? I'm glad we didn't do a show. I think we definitely both actually just needed a break from the show for a bit.
Yeah. It's always good. It's always good. I think we were supposed to take a break like a month ago, and we just chose not to because we forgot.
I think there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But like things have never changed. Do you know what? At most, we should take a Monday show off, a Tuesday show off, because nothing ever changes on that show.
What do you mean, Manny? We got to figure out the Judgment Day Russ Monday Night Raw. 1 week we're not going to cover it. If we take a week off, what if they say the show starts with Damian Priest going, guys, the Judgment Day no longer runs Monday Night Raw.
Marcus, it's never going to be a situation. Do you know, like
where House Party runs Monday Night Raw?
It's never going to be a situation. Just like John Cena's been away for like how many weeks or months, and you go, you don't get like you start to miss him a bit, like, and then when he comes back, you're like, yay! I'm not going to get that with the Judgment Day. I'm just not. They tell me they run WWE every week, much like when Triple H told us every week he's the game.
A 20-minute lecture of how I run this, and I am that damn good. And he'd just say it for 20 minutes, and it would just go on.
Raw.
Every Raw, the start to end, somewhere in the middle.
With his horrible handlebar mustache beard combo.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, it was a
Nobody
bad
gets
bad
old
time.
mature. Yeah, dark times. Just going on.
But yeah, we should probably end it because I know me and Marcus haven't seen each other, spoke to each other since Saturday, and we could probably go on for another hour, but we should end it here.
But let me end this on a high note, people, guys. I don't want you guys to all understand this. I know people may be out there judging Grand Metalik. I know we judge Grand Metalik for not taking that bid against Commander. But if you think about it, if you were Grand Metalik, would you?
Marcus, this guy has made a career of losing. What makes you go look at one look
so
at Commander? No.
So has Commander, Manny. When have you seen Commander win? When?
That one time. And it was a glorious time.
You remember when he debuted? At least Grandmaster Lee could go to him and say, you know what? I was a 24/7 WWE champion. Okay? What have you ever did? I wrestled on WrestleMania. You never did that.
The pre-show.
Hey, doesn't matter. I'm sure he was. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I've been at a WrestleMania, Commander. You never did a WrestleMania. I am not doing a job to you. You were at the bottom of the barrel.
Okay, so we've been the Kings of the Ropes. Make sure you tune in this Saturday for the short SmackDown review.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how this show's gonna work out due to Full Gear Weekend and Eric's travel issues. Maybe he'll travel while we're doing the show.
He's claiming we're doing a show, so he said he's got time.
We do. I would suggest we start maybe an hour earlier, just to give him a little bit more time.
Maybe.
Just in case, because I believe the AEW show starts around 3 p.m. Pacific time with their pre-show, which they have 900 matches. I gotta watch Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir fight or some shit. I don't know how long their pre-show is gonna
be. Marina! I'm coming to get ya!
Yeah, Sheena! I'm sure there's other pre-show, man. I'm sure Saraya or Kip Sabian is on there. So I don't want to miss that shit. But who knows? But if Xylee invites you to a tea ceremony, you better come correct.
You better show up and you better show respect. You bow properly.
Yeah, if you bow and you're looking at me like you think I'm going to kick you in the head, I find that disrespectful. Because she was going to do it.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen and everyone else, we out. Take care. Shave your hair and all that other stuff. Drink some tea and check your leaves.
Check your leaves.
Check your leaves. Marcus, do you know what I just got in my head?
Yes.
Do you remember the prisoner Azkaban? And they were reading the tea leaves. And then the only time they ever showed this black kid was when he just a deadpan shot of I see a wolf and a moon or something along those lines. And it was like this guy has said nothing ever.
This is in potions, right?
Yeah, no. Divination when they go upstairs to that woman.
Yeah, that's not potions. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, one line. What's it?
And it was a proper close-up.
Don't talk.
It was a proper close-up. It was like this.
To this day, I bet you that kid puts that on his screen credits.
I would.
Man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Star of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, so on that note, guys, peace.